It appears the liberal media is determined to defend President Biden in his title as our nation's so-called empathizer-in-chief. The media has been pushing this empathy narrative ever since he took office, with headlines like this: Biden's empathy is what matches him to this moment. And do you remember this gushing moment? How could you forget it? It was on CNN the day before President Biden's inauguration.
Those lights that are just shooting out from the Lincoln Memorial along the reflecting pool, it's like almost extensions of Joe Biden's arms embracing America. It was a moment where the new president came to town and sort of convened the country in this moment of remembrance, outstretching his arms.
I mean, how sycophantic can you be? That was pretty bad. But as it turns out, President Biden's actions speak louder than the left-wing media's words when it comes to so-called empathy. Biden outraged Gold Star families when he was seen checking his watch during a ceremony for the 13 Marines killed during his botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, that dignified transfer we all watched while he watched his watch. And he flew right over East Palestine, Ohio, to tout his Bidenomics agenda in Milwaukee. Didn't visit. He promised to visit in February, but to this day, he has not set a foot there. And as deadly wildfires swept across the island of Maui, President Biden was relaxing on a sunny beach, and when asked about it, he had nothing to say.
Mr. President, any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Can you tell us about your Hawaii trip, sir?
No, not now.
No comment, not even my heart goes out to the families. And even after intense backlash over his response, Biden still made sure to take a few vacation days before visiting Hawaii. He was there for just hours and then went right back to his vacation at billionaire Democrat Tom Steyer's multi-million-dollar home and that Lake Tahoe mansion. And yet, despite all of this, the left-wing media, of course they're still covering for Biden.
He did serve as empathizer-in-chief after 5 days of being mostly silent on the issue publicly, but the governor said he was working behind the scenes to assure first responders that the feds had their back on this. He shared the stories we're familiar with of losing his daughter and wife and wondering if his sons had survived a car accident early in his political career, and that's what so many people here are going through now.
You know, Douglas, he hit the ground of Maui where potentially 1,000 lost. We know 114 at this point. And he talked about his Corvette, but CNN calls him an empathizer.
Some people think this is new with Biden. It really isn't. He's always been like this for decades. Whenever he needs to address a situation which is terrible, he talks about himself or his own experience. And that actually isn't the same thing as empathy, by the way. It's just saying, I've suffered, look at me. That's not the same thing as empathizing with somebody else's situation. And also, by the way, there's another problem here, that the left-wing media keep on tripping themselves over with this, because empathizer-in-chief. Empathy is a very important human virtue.
It is.
But it is not one that is an unalloyed good. You know, the commander-in-chief doesn't have to also be the most empathetic person in the country. They should be able to be capable of empathy and talking without talking about themselves. But I think that the left-wing media's got itself into a kind of fix on this. You know, they're demanding something of the president that the president doesn't have to give in these vast quantities.
No, you're right. And I mean, Harris, though, I think the difference here is empathy was Joe Biden's MO. Some people just said, you know what? I'm just going to vote for the guy because he seems to care. I might not like what he stands for, but he's a nice grandfather. I mean, this has been his MO, and really it's a facade.
I feel like he's retired now. It was an unexpected, inevitable retirement. And this is what unplanned retirement looks like. You quit before you're done with the job. And a big part of the job, I disagree with you, Douglas, I think it is empathy. Yeah. I think it is because countries go to war. I think it is really incumbent upon a president to be able to say, I feel your pain.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even Bill Clinton figured it out. In the midst of everything politically that was going on, he was able to show in that moment who he was. Barack Obama sang at that beautiful church that was hit, and all those parishioners were killed, that were slaughtered, and he sang Amazing Grace. You saw George W. Bush, and I mean, to the best of the ability after 9/11, fighting for the cause of, I'm here with you. I don't know that this man has that gear. And I said yesterday, a pathological narcissist.
Oh, yeah.
The world's only living heart donor. Those are the things that come to mind. But today, I think it's more than that. As bad as that is, he's retired. He's done. And so the question for the left is Kamala coming behind him? And the question tonight on that debate stage is for Republicans, if you vote for this guy, are you voting for Kamala Harris, and are you ready for that? If you're not, you better fight more than each other. Ronna McDaniel is right about that.
She is. You know, Leslie, I go back to Maureen Dowd and her New York Times piece that got a lot of attention. It was her sister, who's a Republican, and wrote a letter that she was not immune to the Irish gregarious charm of Joe Biden, and she met him at a media party and was very sucked in, and for a time supported him. And then she was really turned off when he didn't acknowledge one of his grandchildren. And I just think if there are thousands like Maureen Dowd's sister in the right areas of the country, this could be a key deciding issue, how he empathized in Maui, what he did with his grandchild, and beyond, East Palestine. I mean, I think it could move votes.
I disagree with you. I'll tell you why. One of the and by the way, Obama got criticized for singing that song, and it was beautiful in my opinion. Her sister's a Republican. Overwhelmingly, the Republicans aren't going to vote for him. Overwhelmingly, the Democrats are going to vote for him. No, and that's the reason I don't think that whether it's empathy or not, and the definition of empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. I think maybe I'm a bit like Joe Biden, because I tend to try and connect with people. Like if somebody's lost a child like I had, lost a father at a young age, you moved all over the country, married somebody from a different race, culture, religion, ethnicity, I'll be like, me too, and that can be a bonding experience. But to your point, no, I don't think so. And the reason, when you just look at the top 10 things that are most important to voters across the board, empathy is not on that
Economy's on that list, and
economy is.
Let's see the polling after this, though. We haven't seen that yet.
That's true, and he's lost 8 points on the ground of empathy. His economy is under the water if you look at his approval rate.
Well, that's part of the job of the Republicans tonight, right? That we need to know where they stand, but they need to point out the fact that empathy has something to do with every part of the job. Yeah. That when you think about what you're going to do and the impact on the economy, you think, what are these core issues going to do to the average person? The cost of food, the cost of energy, heating oil as the winter comes up. Or are you thinking about just placating the far left of your party? You're thinking about votes. You're not thinking about what's going on. And what they keep saying, Bidenomics is great. It tells you they have just ignored, they've forgotten, they've abandoned the average American because of a lack of empathy. So if you connect all of these things, Afghanistan, ignoring the Gold Star moms, the issue with inflation, monetary policy in general, the economy, all of it is about people sitting around thinking, how is this affecting the average American? Whether they're going to vote for us or not, are we making this whole country better and bigger and healthier or not? And when you're not thinking about people other than yourself, all of that goes out the window.
That is such an important point, that empathy does tie into all of the issues. I mean, you think about Oliver Anthony. Isn't that the whole point of his song? The rich men in Richmond do not understand and empathize with the plight of millions.
That's right.
So, really
apparently not Delaware either.
That's
not in the song.
Yes, or in Lake Tahoe.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.